Thank you. I can see somebody's typing now. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you. And thank you, Tanya. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, we're going to start this off now. First of all, welcome to the second BAPIA webinar. We hope this will become a regular thing that we can do. Some will be free, some will be for a small fee, depending on what the subject is and the topic and so on and so forth. But we do hope it will be a regular thing. As it's the second one, we think we've got over all the glitches, so hopefully there won't be any issues with this webinar. There weren't really any on the last one, but bear with us if there are. For those of you that don't know about BAPIA, we are a trade organisation for the balloon and party industry, offering numerous benefits to our members. If you want more information, then please just check out our website, bapiaonline.com. Today's webinar is given by Keith and Dom and is designed to give you some basic information on the Cameo Silhouette machine. There'll be some time for questions at the end, but please feel free to send a message with your question. And if it's relevant at a particular time, we will raise it. If not, we will try to work through them all at the end if we have time. We're trying to keep this to sort of within 45 minutes for the actual webinar because I think most people sort of lose attention after about 45 minutes. So we're trying to make it quite short, succinct. That's enough from me. I'm going to pass you over to Keith and Dom now for the main webinar. I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much, Keith and Dom.
Hello, I'm Keith.
And I'm Dom, which I keep looking at the wrong monitor.
Camera's over there, Dom. Camera's over there.
Hi.
We wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the Silhouette Cameo machine and also about our course, Balloons with Personality, that we're doing a UK tour with a stop off in Ireland as well, late June and early July. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Silhouette Cameo machine itself. We're going to talk about the basics of setting it up. We're also going to talk about the basic tools that we use and also the free software.
For any of the tools that we use, we've also got links on our Facebook page, I believe. So it's got the direct links to our recommended supplier. We understand there's other places you can buy them from. We're not affiliated with those guys, but it's just we've had really good service and the value has been really good. I also like to say well done, Tanya, for turning up on time today. So well done. But for us, the initial setup is really important. So if anyone's getting the machine and wants to get going with it now and have a bit of a play with it, making sure that you've set up the blade and the material type within the studio software is really important, because the machine itself is capable of cutting paper, card, vinyl, whatever you really want it to. But for our instance, we want it to cut vinyl. Keith doing his...
Yeah, this is the new version of the Silhouette Cameo. Over here. It has the difference is this LCD display here with different buttons come up there depending on what you're doing with it at the time. We also have the older version that works downstairs in our store all the time for us as well. So if you do have any questions relating to the older machine, we can certainly answer them as well. Couple of things. First of all, it was designed for the craft market for scrapbookers and card makers, so it means it's very user friendly. It's the hard work is done by this blade, and it's a cutting plotter. We've been working with cutting plotters now for in excess of 10 years, working with sign writing and creating t-shirt vinyl and various other things as well. And they've always been bigger, more expensive, more industrial machines. This is definitely more of a like hobby market, but it can deal with working every day in a balloon shop as well. So why use the Silhouette Cameo? There's lots of different plotters out there, lots of different cutters. So why use the Silhouette Cameo?
Two of the main reasons for us is, one, the software that comes bundled with it allows us to work directly from a computer, PC or Mac, an app on your phone, and you can also save those to an SD card and work directly with the machine. The software included is very intuitive, and fundamentally most people in the balloon community have adopted this particular machine. So what it means for us is it's easy to share. It's easier for people to share designs, help. There's a really good community building now of people with the same machine, and it just means when we're talking to each other, we know exactly what we're talking about. We don't have to try and work out a different style of setting or something on a different machine, because at the end of the day, the machine does the same job. It's just how we use it and how we talk about the different settings that makes it easier for us to share that information.
So if you once you get the machine out of its box, if you've never set one up before, what you need to do is you need to set up the blade itself, because the blade is a ratchet style blade, and also you need to set up some settings. So we've got a short video here. Just spacebar it.
Yeah, try to do that, and then I went into the desktop.
So we're going to show you a short video on exactly how that works out. How you set it up from the first place. And then, desktop it. There we go. You should be able to see a video. So you can see there's the ratchet style blade, and at the moment it's set between 4 and 5. You get a little grey kind of tool for adjusting the ratchet, but people seem to lose it, but they don't realize there's actually one built into the machine already. So you just put it in, push down slightly, and turn it round until you can see that red dot is lined up to the 1. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for it to be lined up to the 1. Dead easy, dead simple.
So once we've done the setting on the blade itself, we have to emulate that within the software. So on our Silhouette Studio software, we go into our cut settings. So that is at the top right. Select that, and then further down the page we have a material type section. In this box, it's already pre-populated with different types of materials. Each one has its own unique settings. Now there is one there for vinyl already. It's a Silhouette branded vinyl. We sometimes and generally change the settings to suit the vinyl that we're using. So what we do is to make sure that we always know that we have our material selected, we click this little plus box. Let me just show you there. So we click this, it will create a new material for us. So we're going to call ours balloon vinyl. Press enter, and it gives us a new set of presets. In the section underneath it now are the settings that are relating to our new balloon vinyl. The setting on the blade that we've done, we replicate by using these little arrows to adjust the software to indicate that that's what we've set it to. So I've done that to number 1. It is already pre-selected to the ratchet blade. You can change that if it's not the right one, but it must be the ratchet blade. Speed. We run our machine between 8 and 9, and we've had no issues with that. We don't turn it up to max. We don't need it to. We just take the top edge of speed off and allow it to run smoothly. As we're not really putting this machine under a lot of pressure, we set this to cut, then we make our balloons for it. It can take as long as it needs to. The thickness of the material, this is something that you'll have to play around with because each machine can be a little bit different. Start lower than you'd think, so somewhere between 6 and 8 is what most machines seem to be leveling out at. So if you're unsure at first, put it to 6, do a test cut, see how well it cuts, and then gradually increase from there.
Yeah, the older machine, we found the older, you need to slide it down. The older machine we found needed to be at a higher thickness to run between 8 and 9, but the new machine is definitely fine at, it needs less pressure. Whether there's something about the machine itself that's got new motors or whatever that does it, it definitely needs slightly less thickness than the older machine. Just a little bit about the software as well as we're going through it. The software is free. You don't even have to own a Silhouette Cameo to have the software, which is fantastic because what we do is we actually have it installed on multiple PCs and Macs using a shared library system. What we do is we can set up, we can design what we want to cut on one machine and then do all of our cutting on a separate machine. We just do them up, save them into a file, and then they're ready to go and cut on a completely different machine. It means that the one that's doing all the cutting, you're not necessarily crowding over it. We can be designing things up in the office and then have them cut on the shop floor whenever we need to. The version of the Studio software is brand new as well. For those that have had it installed for a few months, if you click on the, Dom will show you, here on the help, there is a upgrade Silhouette Studio, check for updates, whatever. It will tell you that there is no updates currently available, and even if you've installed it a few months ago, it will tell you this. It tells lies. There is actually a new version available that you can get through silhouetteamerica.com. The main difference that we found is, first of all, it's got the new settings for the new style of machine, which does all of the engraving and what's the other stuff that it does?
Embossing and stipple. It's a different style of machine. It's not
the Curio, the Silhouette Curio. It's not that. That's one of the things. But also, if we scroll up on the thing, if we have it on a cutting edge, cut settings, there we go. We can see the rollers, which is a big thing. It basically tells you which direction the vinyl goes into the machine and exactly which way it's going to line up. So if you're not seeing that bar across the top, it means that you don't have the newest version of Silhouette Studio. Just please go in, install it, download it over the top. It's about 50 meg bigger than the older software. So we're not 100% sure what else it actually does. However, it definitely does that. It definitely does this.
That's the easiest way to tell. Just going back to the balloon vinyl that we were setting up, there's a few more settings you don't generally need to do anything with, but you do need to make sure that the double cut is unchecked, because we don't need to do two cuts. Also, the line segment overcut needs to be off, so we don't need it to cut past the lines. And the advanced section, we don't generally need to do anything with. The return to origin is something we typically use for most of our work, and that just means the way the machine resets. And its default settings for the way it cuts are usable. They're the ones we found the best. We've tried some of the other ones, and it doesn't seem to make it any quicker, but it does tend to move the material about a bit more, which means if it's not perfectly lined up, you are likely to have it run off. So the default settings for the advanced options are absolutely fine to stick with.
The feed on there, just for instance, the feed on there, on the course itself, when we do the day course, we will be using that option at times, and we'll be explaining when and why we would use that option. It's a more an advanced feature of why we would do it, but generally, job to day, we use the return to origin.
One of the other things that we'll be doing on the day is going through each of the different tools that are available in the software. Additionally, you'll get a USB key. On that key will be all the files that we've used, but some links to some videos that are just for you guys that come on the day. So you don't have to spend all day writing everything down. So we'll have a little step-by-step tutorial with screen grabs and little videos, so you can see an example of each of the tools and how we use it in our day-to-day business as well. So you're going to have a USB key with all that on, so lots of goodies to take away on the day.
Okay, the other thing that you set up on the Silhouette Cameo, on here, on the physical things, let me get this open, is the position of the pinch roller. That one. So when it comes, it actually comes one further across. It comes across here. What you need to do is there's little grooves here all the way around the bar, and what you need to do is turn it lightly and then slide it back to the next set. If you leave it further over here, because of the 300mm vinyl that we use, a 12-inch vinyl that we use, what happens is it will miss underneath. So what you need to do is make sure that you flip it up and just slide it back one. Make sure that they re-engage with the sections, and then it's ready to go. There you can see it better on there.
I haven't put it on there.
Oh,
1 second.
So we're going to show you another video about actually loading the vinyl, and then Dom can explain exactly what we mean by that pinch roller part.
This is the pinch roller part here. When it first comes, as Keith was saying, these teeth are engaged in this here, which will be too wide for the material. So that's kind of half a turn of this white plastic part, and then slide it down and then re-engage it with this teeth, and it means that it lines up. Typically, we line the vinyl up to the left-hand side here. This blue line is a new addition to the new machine, which is very handy because of where the alignment of this pinch roller is. The parallel lines that we'd normally use to line up the vinyl to keep it straight are kind of hidden.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, John. Go back to the pinch roller. Thanks, Susie, for saying that.
Thank you. So this is the white pinch roller we were talking about moving. This one here would normally be here on these teeth. So we rotate that around and move it back, and then that will be the right width for the 300mm 12-inch vinyl that we use. At the left-hand side as well, there's an addition here, this blue line, which really helps us to keep the vinyl straight as we load it into the machine. This particular clip that we're going to show you now is how we line the vinyl up. We cut the vinyl first to make sure that it's straight, and then we just tuck under each side a pinch roller, so at each side, show it here.
Nice and flat.
I've lined it up to the blue line as well at the left hand side to keep it parallel.
And then there's a simple button with that load media, and that's ready to go. Here we are from a different angle, straight up and down. So he's going to line it up on that left hand side, making sure it's nice and flat, slides nicely under the pinch rollers, and then load media button. Ready to go.
Something else to watch out for as well, if the vinyl's, especially at the end of the roll, it tends to want to curl around a little bit. So make sure that you kind of just tease it out a little bit so it doesn't want to roll into the feed roller. So it actually does tuck under those two pinch rollers at the left and right hand side.
There is a little bar, we show the bar on the right hand side for releasing. It's like a little lever, and it releases the whole bar up and down from the right hand side. We don't tend to use it very much. It's a bit more awkward because it doesn't really release the left hand side, only the right hand side. And if you're doing things correctly, you shouldn't really need to touch it very much at all. So we prefer not to keep on moving up and down all the time. We just prefer to use the button with the feed and the unfeed, the load and unload button.
Yeah.
And allow it to do it that way. We find it works a lot better, and we're not stressing anything mechanically by taking it up and down all the time.
Additionally as well, on this machine, you can take the blade out, and there's a nice little secret compartment.
Oh yes, secret compartment. So on the side of the new machine.
Well, to be fair, if we actually look at the old machine, we don't know if it's there or not. We've never seen it.
Yeah, maybe on the old machine we haven't checked yet. But on the new machine, there's a secret side door, and it's specifically for putting the blades in, because you can get different blades depending on what you're cutting. Different materials uses different blades,
and there's pens and different things.
Yeah, for plotting, so you can just put them in there and keep it nice and safe inside the machine itself.
One of the things that we would suggest is, if you are looking at using this machine for other materials, we use our main machine predominantly for vinyl. Because it makes so much money for us, we dedicate a blade for that, and we don't use it for anything other than vinyl. If we want the machine to cut something else, we have a different blade. Vinyl it's very easy to cut, so the blade life is massive. So if you look after it, our first blade lasted at least 2 years. Replacement one's about £10. I think it's a 2-pack for £20 or thereabouts. But if you're going to cut cardstock or paper, they are a bit more aggressive on the blade, so you tend to dull the blade off a bit quicker.
Sorry, Haley, so there is no secret compartment. You have the secret box in yours. Well done, Sam. There we go. And sorry for Party Box as well, because we've never checked it out on the iPad for the webinar software. So if you're not seeing anything, apologies for that. We don't know what's causing that. We can maybe do some more testing later on. Other tools as well that we use. Here we go. We have the weeding tool. Now, this is the old weeding tool that we would use, which is very similar to this one. There we go. And it comes with a cover to stop you from stabbing everything. And this is the old version that we used to use. We don't use this one anymore. And the reason being is that as you're working with it, this part has a tendency of unscrewing. And look, all of a sudden, I just turned it a little bit, and the pin has gone inside of it. And then you've got to spend your time resetting it or whatever. So we found that this one, which is a slightly more expensive one, let's click onto there. This version, the soft touch one, the bit for fasten and unfasten is at the back, so you never actually touch it. So even me with a left-hander, it's never, you're just holding the main part of it, so it never unscrews itself and disappears. So this is our preferred weeding tool. We've tried all sorts of different ones with like hooks on them and things, but we prefer this one. Now, this is our preferred tool. It's slightly more expensive by about, I don't know, about 40 pence or something like that, but it's well worth an investment.
We can sell you this one.
Yeah, we've got one of them going cheap. The other thing that we have that we use are the squeegees. This one, as you can see by most of our stuff, people that know us know that we like to use a color-coded system to make sure all our tools are in the right place. This one is the green. You can see there on the screen, it actually says that it's got D-tape across here. We've bought a few of these packs because we take them on training courses and things with us, and we tend to lose them. Yeah, and we've never seen any that have the actual D-tape printed onto it yet. You can get them in different sizes. That's the small one, but we also have a large one for applying large-scale graphics. Remember that your Cameo can cut vinyl for going on window as well. So for seasonality or whatever, if you're doing a display, you can cut the vinyl and it will happily go on windows. Just spray your glass with water with a little tiny bit of soapy stuff in it, and then the stuff goes on slides. You can get rid of all your air bubbles as well for it. Then application tape. Now there's a debate about the application tape. We know that some people prefer the masking tape, and we don't mind that. We appreciate that they are wrong, because we prefer the plastic clear stuff. Now this is the one that Dom's got hold of, and also that's on your screen. You can see it's 300mm wide, and it's £19 5 pence a roll of 100 meters.
So its price is about the same as the masking tape.
Yeah, so we look at the masking tape. There we go. The masking tape is just slightly more expensive. You can see on each one of these, it's saying low tack each time. Low tack. That's the important bit. Now, the big difference between the two of them is that we found that the masking tape tends to be a bit stickier than the plastic tape.
Yeah,
that's one of the issues. The other thing as well is that the plastic one is very transparent.
Yes. So when we apply anything with the plastic, we have the opportunity to see through it. So it's easier when we're lining up text to other text or any registration marks that we might be using. But really, the real benefit for us is this. I mean, this piece here has been on my desk and used it numerous times. It's probably about 2 weeks old. So we can use the same piece again and again. And actually, after its first go, its adhesive is absolutely perfect. It really is. Much like the masking tape, even with low tack, it's still pretty sticky. But with the masking tape, you've got to use it, on your top a few times to kind of de-sticky it.
Remove some of the stickiness.
Yeah. But the clear one is pretty much good to go. We'll use it straight off the roll. But we're getting, 5, 6, 7 uses plus out of it without even having to worry about it. So its cost is much, much less in comparison to the masking tape because of the additional use.
Sorry, was that Kathy? Sorry, is the one you were showing transferrite? This is the plastic one. No, it's not the transferite.
No.
Go on the other. Click on. No, this. Yeah, it's this one. This is the one. This light tack clear application tape. This is the one that we prefer. The R-Tape AT70 stuff.
If you want the link for that, if you go onto our Facebook group and go on and search for the Keith and Dom's Balloon Adventure.
Yeah, if you just do search for Balloon Adventure.
The links are on there, and it's got the description and everything, with the actual link into MDP Supplies, which is the company that we use, and it's got everything in there for that. Let me actually. Where's my finger? So this is it here, MDP Supplies. Ta-da! On mdpsupplies.co.uk. At the left-hand side, you've got two things that we generally use. One is the Silhouette Cameo section. We put in all the different links for that, for the different things that it has there. But it also has at the left, near the top, application tape. Select that, and then we've got paper or clear. We use the clear, and in the clear section, you have to roll all the way down and look for the one that says low tack. That's the light tack clear application tape. And we want to make sure we get the right width, because it comes in 6, 12, 24 and 40 inch wide rolls. We typically use the 12 inch, 300 mil, and as we only get one roll at a time because it lasts for so long, we just get one roll at £19.05. A little tip for when you order from MDP is when you buy the vinyl, so we go into the Cameo Silhouette, and then we go onto the signed vinyl. There's gloss and there's matte. We use matte just because we like the finish. It's a personal choice, but both works just the same.
It doesn't stand out so much from the balloon itself, so it almost gives the idea that the balloon's been printed with it, whereas the gloss, it's a bit too shiny for us. We do use it, but that's when we want that kind of effect. Normally, we will just use the matte.
When you buy rolls of vinyl from MDP, you get them at a price break if you buy more, which we often do. But if you get, like we do, multiple rolls of the same colour, I would generally ask for them to be done on separate rolls, because when you buy more than one roll, they tend to put it on one roll for you, and it's one big roll, and that is often too heavy for the machine to handle, because it has to move that vinyl backwards and forwards. So one single 5 meter roll is absolutely perfect. The machine can handle the weight of that. It moves the material forward, and it can pull it out easily. When it's a heavier roll, it's just a bit more work for the machine. So standardly, they will send it out if you buy 5-6 rolls of the same on one roll, which you can decant yourself onto smaller rolls, but it's just one more step of work for you to do. So just be aware of that when you're ordering.
While we're on here as well, while we're on the website, you can see across the top we've got a couple of resources that we use for fonts, and we're going to show you our newest font that we like, and there it is. It's the top one, which is Marguerite. We find this a really nice font, but also this site is very good as a resource for finding fonts. Now there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, it's got a massive selection. Second of all, as well, you get to test the font in two different ways. One online, one as generally you can get a free use of it as well. And then also it gives you a link to where to pay. So Dom's put some text in there, and he's just showing you there how the Marguerite works. And you can see if you're going to do something specific, there we go, submit. See, that looks terrible in full caps. In fact, you would never buy this font if you looked at the normal font sample that comes with it, because it looks horrendous, but actually it's a really nice font to use, very popular. And what you can do is it's free for personal use only. So that means you can download it and you can try it out. We love doing this with this particular site, and also some of the ones on my fonts as well. But the same as we like to be paid, we like to pay other artists as well. So we click on the link. Here it has the Marguerite. You should be able to go straight down there, and it says there that the PayPal is $39, which is about £26 for commercial use. So it's worth investing in it. Please support them. They are artists just like we are balloon artists. So you want to get paid for your work, they should be getting paid for theirs. So if you're going to use it, pay for it.
We will be including on the day, as we said, the USB drive with all the files on that we're going to be using, so you can have them and use them at home. We will also include, for reference, the fonts that we've used. Some of them are free and some of them are free for personal use. We're not supplying the license, it's purely just so you can have a go without having to go and look for it, but we will provide the link if it's something that you want to use in your business. You can then go and purchase the license for that if you wish. But we will include them on the drive as well, so yeah, you've got them for the day.
Also, great information on this site as well is how to install a font. So you can see
on the main, if you just click on the home page or go directly into the font, it'll have how to install a font, and it's got it for the different styles of machines there as well.
So for Mac and for the anything after Windows Vista, you're just going to install them simply. For Windows XP, what are you doing? You need to get off Windows XP. It's no longer supported by anything, especially for internet security. So we would certainly recommend that you upgrade. So what we're going to do is going to show you an example of downloading on this one. So Dom's just downloaded the font. He's going to open it up and he's going to show the example. So you just because this is why we say if you actually just saw the example, the name of the site. Tube was Dafont, DAFONT.com, Dafont. And you can see there the example with, you would probably never buy this font. It looks horrible as its example on there, but actually it's a beautiful font to use. It cuts really well and the customers love it. So what we're going to do is we're on a Mac, so we're just going to simply install the font. It's going to add it into it, and there we go. Now, Dom's just installed the font, but we've already got the studio software open on here. So if we went to try and type something, you'll find that the font is not there. So what we need to do is, so it's be Marguerite. It's not there as we're doing the search for it. So what we need to do is just shut down the Silhouette Studio software. We're not going to save that, we haven't done anything. And then wait for it to shut down, and then we're going to reopen it again. Wait for it to load up. We're also, as well as this loads up, it's probably going to do the start screen, which tells you about library and various other things. The library is a very powerful tool. We don't have time to discuss it today, but we will be doing it on the day. Oh yeah. You just saw as well, it just flew through over 1,000 fonts. That means Dom's got far too many fonts on this machine.
I hoard fonts.
We try to, on the machines that we run this software normally, we try to keep the fonts as a minimum so that you're not constantly having to flick through a million different fonts. But yeah, there's a library system. It's very, very powerful, in fact. So what we're going to do is, on the day, we'll be showing people how that library system can work for you.
If you do have a lot of fonts, and you use the machine for other tasks as well, give yourself a little cheat sheet of the names of the fonts that you use and that work well for you, and have them to hand so you can search for them quickly. So now I can use the font, but you can also see, just turn that off so you can see it, on this here as I've used it, because this would normally be used as a print font, it overlaps. So let me zoom in to show you where the letters intersect. You get these crossover cuts, and they become problematic when we put it out because these are little bits that want to be kind of falling off when we're trying to read it and apply it to the balloon. So what we do is, once we're happy with the text that we've done and no longer need to do anything with it, if we right click on the text and we go down the menu to where it says weld, just select weld, and it takes out all those intersections and joins it as one piece. The thing that we need to do next is, if I move that out, although it's welded them together, it's now made it not a font. So it now no longer can be edited, it can't be changed, you can't change the writing, but it also makes them all separate individual pieces. So to keep it all together, if we just zoom out a little bit more so we can see all of what we need, highlight everything that I want to be joined together, right click on the mouse and click group. It'll then put everything back together as one piece. It also allows everything together to be scaled in proportion to each other. But make sure you don't do that weld function until you're happy with what you've wrote, done your spell check, and anything like that, because you can't edit it after that. You can go back over and kind of step backwards, but it just means that you kind of want to do that at the very last moment before you commit it.
Okay, also as well as setting up for the size of that you're going to cut as well, you can see that there's red lines. There's actually a red box that runs all the way around it, but particularly you can see red lines that run down the side. The top one, there we go. There is one that runs along the top as well, but it's like literally just almost merged with the top. You can just about see it. And that is your cutting area. It's important to stay within that cutting area. And you can see that there's left a little gap on the left and the right. That's for where the pinch roller keeps hold of the material itself. If you want to be really careful, you set your width. You can set your width to a little bit less because the material itself is exactly 12 inches. So if you want to be really safe, you can set the width to 11 and a half, 11 3/4, whatever that you want to. Generally, we'll run at 12, but we know where our boundaries are, which is that red line.
Make sure that this is selected though, so we go to the design page settings, set our page size, and show cut border, and that reveals this red line. Because even if you have that unchecked, if this text is too close to the edge, it'll not cut that very end piece, and it'll be the end piece that is behind that red line. So it's really important for us that we show this red line. If you want to, in the setup of the software, there is an option to tell the software to cut right to the edge of this vinyl. However, it's not really advised because the chances are the blade could slightly run off and catch the edge of the vinyl, which might unload it or just kind of damage the edge of the vinyl. Not a problem with the vinyl, but it's something that you do, some issues with your blade. So standardly, that is always set to being cut within this boundary. So make sure this is set and checked so you can see that red line, and then we can work within that space easily, especially when we load it. If it's not exactly straight, you might get this 1 or 2 millimeters run off, and that's what that accounts for. So just work safely, which means we can work quickly and more efficiently without having to kind of stand over the machine and watch it and make sure it's not going to have any issues.
This software is very, very powerful for what it does, and the fact that it is free, and like I say, you don't need the Silhouette Cameo, it's actually downloaded. So if you don't have a machine yet, you can download it and play with it to your heart's content. But also some other functions, not that we're doing today, but on the course, we'll be showing how to trace, so how we would take company logos apart. Now, we do ones that are 4 or 5 colors at times. The company logos are very complex logos. We're going to show you how we would take it apart, how we would cut it, and how we would put it back together as well, because we take out all of the guesswork of when we put it back together as well. So, but that's kind of an on-the-day kind of thing. But it's a brilliant piece of software.
It is. Some of the other bits of the day as well. What have we got?
Yeah, let's talk about the course. Like Dom said earlier, what you will receive on the day as well is a flash drive like this. This will include all of the templates that we use on the day, so already done for you and laid out. So it's just a case of putting it into your machine and installing them onto your hard drive. The thing is, with the Silhouette Cameo, you can actually run this straight from the Cameo itself. This can plug straight to the side, and you can cut from there. You're also going to get the fonts on there for the trial use. If you do want to use them, the ones that have a commercial license, we recommend that you buy the commercial license as well.
There'll be a link for all the extra videos that we're going to have available for you guys, which is the step-by-step. So we're going to show you on the day. There'll be plenty of opportunity for questions and answers, but also you can rest assured going home that you'll have those videos to re-watch to work through the step-by-step for doing a trace, modifying, and the other tools that the software has available as well.
Yeah, I know Pauline just asked the question, when and where is the course? Like John said, we've got 9 different locations throughout the UK and also one in Dublin, well, Ashbourne, just outside of Dublin. The course price starts from £50 plus VAT for BAPIA members, £60 if you're a non plus VAT for non-BAPIA members, but that is an early bird discount, which is only available up until the 31st of May. So if you want to get in there, just get in there quick.
Question there for doing the course online later. Don't know.
Yeah, there's no plans at the moment. We're concentrating on the tour. We're giving it all that we can for the tour first of all, and get it out of the way. The thing is that if we were ever to do anything online, it would be a very different course, and the reason being is that there's a lot of hands-on on the day. Also, as well as on the day, you get all the recipes as well. That was the other thing. Recipes for every design that is shown on the day as well. So you get that. What else do we get? Oh, the handy Cameo shortcut sheet. We tell you about that. Step by step for all the Cameo processes, the standard ones, like the trace, using the library and things. We're going to be using them on everything. Every design that we show on the day, there is going to be some part of the Cameo used in it. So it could be vinyl, it could be used of paper, it could be we're going to be sticking it to latex and foils, bubbles,
and also sharing with you some of our techniques for how we handle our impulse walk-in sales versus pre-booked and things like that as well. So we don't worry if a customer comes straight in. We'll happily personalize on the spot, but we'll show you how we deal with those customers as well to make it steer them in the right direction for us to make our day easier.
The answer on that is you don't need to bring your Silhouette Cameo along. In fact, we're not 100% sure what would happen if everybody did, and the reason for that is we don't want anybody's machine getting damaged, and we don't know how many power sockets we'll have on the day, because if you're bringing a laptop and Silhouette Cameo, you can imagine that's going to be like, if there's 25 people on the course, that's 50 sockets just for the delegates, and we don't want to. We're going to be blowing up the venue's power supply if we start doing.
We'll have pre-cut vinyl, so anything for hands-on, it'll be already done and cutted just for you guys to read, apply, showing those techniques. All of the kind of with machine procedures will be done. We'll have either on-screen presentation or close-up camera, or put in video so you can see in depth exactly how it happens. Again, anything like that will be linked afterwards. You'll have it to take away to review in your own time with your machine as well, so you can kind of, in the comfort of your own home, re-watch some of the things and put that into practice at home.
Also, as well as the designs that we're going to do, there's a lot of people ask us about exploders. That's one of the things that we're going to include, which is also how we incorporate the Silhouette Cameo with exploders. The exploder we're going to be doing is air-filled and also helium-filled versions using the Common Insider tool. It's not going to be using anything other than a popping wand. It's very fashionable at the moment. Have like a 3-foot balloon held between the bride and groom, and then for the pair of them to burst it for the last, like the kind of the photo in front of the church or whatever. And we're going to show you how we make that happen, how we use the Insider with that. We're going to be doing babies. We're going to be making babies together. Always exciting. Our garland buddy, we're going to share you that design, and the reason for that is on the day we're actually going to make a clown, and we use a lot of the facial features, so eyes and mouths and things like that we use with the Silhouette Cameo. Again, that's included on the USB drive, but also the design itself for that garland buddy. We use them all sorts. If a customer comes in and says it's a birthday and we want he's a fireman or he's into fireman or a scuba diver or whatever, we use this same body structure.
He's our go-to character for lots of different things as well, so you can use that a lot for different things. So he's a cool guy.
Kathy, you need no, you don't need to even bring a laptop. You don't need to. Don't bring anything. Just yourself and an open mind. If you want to bring a pen,
Got some sweets. Sweets is always good.
Yeah, blue M&Ms.
Yes.
We've got a chance to. But you don't need to bring anything along on the date. I mean, obviously, the same as you would go to a standard balloon course. If you want to bring your own balloon pump and a pair of scissors, it's always good, but you don't need to bring any device. Yes, we'll always be bribed with sweets, Kathy. But please, honestly, free up the date. It's going to be great. I think the Glasgow is getting half full or it's over half full already. The Glasgow course. If you're in the Kent area, I would recommend booking up quickly because that is going like really hot at the moment.
Yeah.
Quick links. We're going to work with quick links. What else? We've got all sorts. We're trying to pack in as much into the day as we possibly can to share it with you guys. But at the end of the day, it's going to however the day goes is going to be determined by you guys too. It's what you need to learn. If we feel that people need more time on the Cameo training itself, that's what we'll deliver. If we want more time on the designs, that's what we'll deliver as well. Thanks, Haley. We love you too. Are there any questions? What's Cardiff Space like? Did I say a date change? We changed it from we changed it from the 5th to the 6th. Or
switch round the two.
Switch round between Liverpool and
Cardiff.
Cardiff, yes. Cardiff went from being the 5th of July to the 6th of July, and it's on at Card and Party World in Cardiff.
I believe Sue.
Yeah, we got mixed up. Sue was doing a course on the same day, and we would never compete against.
No, because we'd lose. Let's be honest.
That's fair. If you want the Card and Party, we know that the spaces are very limited on there because of the venue. Redditch as well, if you want to get on that one. It's kind of in the middle for everybody, that one. We put it there on purpose. So not very far away from Birmingham, but it's kind of, as it's a Midlands area, it's kind of easy to get to everybody. It's also a really nice venue. It's a new one we're trying out, but it looks really nice for us.
Yes. But other than that, are there any other questions?
Yeah, any other questions before we call this?
You have one there from Nikolai. He wants to know when you're going to Austria.
Austria, anytime we're invited. We're doing one in Ireland because the Irish Party Supplies want us to come and work over there. We're in talks with other countries as well about the possibility of us coming over there. But generally, talk to your distributors. That's the main thing. As long as we get asked to come over, we will more than gladly come. We spend most of our time, if you don't know already, we spend most of our time teaching for Qualitex and traveling around on behalf of them. This time we decided to do this on our own, although everything that we use is going to be Qualitex balloons only. And that was because it's mainly centered around the Cameo silhouette, or the Silhouette Cameo, which isn't anything to do with Qualitex themselves. But everything that we'll be using on the day will be Qualitex only balloons. If you know us, you'll understand why. Are there any other questions?
I'll butt in there, Nikolai. Just for your information, I will, if you don't already have it, I will give you Keith and Dom's contact information so that you can talk to them.
If you're on Facebook, Nikolai, you can contact us via the Keith and Dom's British Balloon Adventure page. You find us, do a search for us. We're all over that, and we try to and that as quickly as we possibly can, because it's that page. If you want to join on that, it's not just to do with this tour. In fact, we ran a British Balloon Adventure in across America. That was what it was first created for, and then we ran it across Canada as well, doing something completely different. And we're hoping that our teaching side is kind of so that people can, if they've got questions for me or Dom, we can direct them there. If we have any information, if we share in our travels or whatever, it's all going to be done through that particular Facebook page.
So we can't do anything about the honeymoon. Sorry. Question on, do you use other vinyl cutters or is it just the Silhouette? So we use a different vinyl cutting machine for our T-shirt printing side of our business.
And for large cuts.
And large cuts, but it's a Roland cutter. It would do this job, but it's more than what you'd ever need. And the software for it is not intuitive. it's the reverse of this. It's not the best thing. The reason we love this machine is because every member of staff in our business has just taken to it like a duck to water. It's just you show them what to do and how to do it, and they can just do it every day, and it's the right size, the right price, with the right intuitive software.
Haley, you've got a question there about the invoicing. The way that it works is the Bapia system is taking all of the registrations. So what happens is you register through there, and we get the information, and we produce a VAT invoice for you directly. There's actually a clickable link in the invoice. It's interactive, and you can click on it and pay straight through there through PayPal or debit card or whatever.
There's a backs payment if you want to do it that way as well. Whatever's easiest, we really don't mind.
And then if you really want to, you can always we can always organise it so that we can do it over the phone and take payment that way as well, if you prefer it, or if we understand if you just want to talk to us, it's fine.
Okay, unless anybody else has any further questions, I think that's about it. If you do have further questions, then feel free to send them in. It's not a problem. We'll make sure they're answered for you.
Exactly.
Thank you to Keith and Dom, and thank you very much to everybody for turning up. I know some of you travelled long distances to be here today. We will be doing more webinars of different types, different variations. Some will be free, some will be exclusive to Bapia members, some will be chargeable. Depends on what we're doing. If you've enjoyed this, please post on Facebook and through social media that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't enjoyed it, then please let me know, and let me know why, and we'll see what we can do to improve on it. And thank you all very, very much for coming in. Yep, thank you, Mark. I know it must have taken you a long time to get here, and I appreciate all the effort it went to. Thank you. It's I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I am very much looking forward to more of these.
Thank you, Bapia, for hosting it.
It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure.
Anytime in the US, we would love to. Let's just leave it at that at the moment. We would love to. We'd love to the US, and we saw Jeannie in there as well. We'd love to come to Canada too. Again, we'd love. We really would. But we'll see.
Cool.
Watch this space, I suppose.
Thank you ever so much, everybody, and yeah, keep typing. We'll keep watching any questions that you post up. But thank you, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Have a good day.
Cheers. Thank
See
you.
you on the course. Bye.